Chosen one, listen. The winds have shifted in your favor. The silence that once surrounded your prayers has been broken. For years, you have stood between hope and heartbreak, believing that heaven had more for you even when nothing around you seemed to move. But now, the stillness is over. The spiritual pause has lifted in what you've been waiting for. Heaven has already begun to release. You have carried seasons of loneliness like a mantle, thinking it meant something was wrong with you. You've looked at others receiving love easily, while yours seemed delayed. But your delay was divine. You were not denied. You were being prepared. Heaven had to prune, refine, and strengthen you for a love that wouldn't crumble under pressure. You were not waiting for any person, you were waiting until your heart could sustain what was holy. You are not late. You are right on time. Every moment of isolation was God's way of removing distractions, breaking soul ties, and purifying your desires. The one heaven has chosen for you was also being shaped in silence. Two stories unfolding separately, now converging under divine command. And now, something inside you knows it's different. The air feels lighter. Your heart no longer aches, it anticipates. The voice of doubt grows weaker because something greater is rising inside you, peace. You can sense it, though you cannot yet see it. Heaven is aligning what once felt impossible. According to what is written in the Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11 to 12. See, the winter is past, the rains are over and gone. Flowers appear on the earth, the season of singing has come. The cooing of doves is heard in our land. Your winter is over. Chosen one. The long frost of waiting is melting away, making room for a new season of life, love, and laughter. The rain that once soaked you in tears was never meant to drown you. It was meant to water the soil of your faith. Every night you cried out, wondering if heaven had forgotten. Heaven was listening. Every unanswered question, every door that closed, every person who left, they were divine redirections toward the promise now unfolding. The partner heaven is sending you is not coming to complete you. They are coming to complement you. You are already whole, already equipped, already enough. This person will not rescue you from pain. They will walk with you through purpose. Their arrival will not feel like a storm. It will feel like sunrise, steady, warm, undeniable. And when they come, you will know, not because of butterflies or grand gestures, but because of peace. True love and divine timing feels like calm, not chaos. It will not demand that you shrink to fit in. It will require that you stand in your full identity. You will look into their eyes and realize this was worth every tear, every prayer, every delay. Chosen one. Heaven is not just sending you a partner. Heaven is sending you a reflection, someone who matches your spiritual frequency. Someone who recognizes your light because they were forged in the same fire. This union is not simply romantic, it is prophetic. Together you will not only share affection but carry assignment. You will build, heal, intercede, and shine. Your love will shake the atmosphere. You have finally reached the threshold of manifestation. What felt like delay was simply heaven's timing catching up to your readiness. Now that your heart has matured and your discernment is sharp, you can safely carry what you once could not. You are ready, and so is your promise. Do not fear missing it. You cannot miss what is divinely assigned. Heaven's hand will make sure your paths cross, your hearts recognize, and your spirits unite. Nothing can block what has been written. The waiting has ended. The story is turning. The heavens declare movement. Chosen one, if this word speaks to the depth of your spirit, acknowledge it now. Lift your faith higher than your fear. Like this message as an act of agreement. Share it so others waiting in silence may find strength. And subscribe to remain connected to the flow of divine revelation. And as a prophetic declaration that your season has shifted, comment the number 777 below and write, "My winter is over. Heaven has released my promise." You remember the years that no one saw, the quiet, hidden seasons where your heart kept breaking but your faith refused to die. Those were not wasted years. They were the furnace of becoming. Heaven was not absent in those moments. Heaven was sculpting you. Every tear watered your spiritual roots. Every disappointment chiseled away what could not stand in your next chapter. In those hidden years, you learned how to be alone without being empty. You discovered that solitude can be sacred, not punishment. You found strength in stillness, hearing divine whispers in the silence where the noise of the world could not reach you. The refining process was painful because it required surrender of timing, surrender of expectations, surrender of what you thought love was supposed to look like. You didn't know it then, but God was detoxing your spirit from dependence on human validation. Every time you reached for someone who couldn't love you right, heaven allowed the rejection to protect you. Each goodbye was actually a redirection. The loneliness you felt was heaven's way of detoxing your heart from the counterfeit so it could recognize the authentic. At times, you questioned why you had to walk alone while others seemed to find love effortlessly. You didn't realize that easy love can sometimes be shallow love, but chosen love must be refined. Heaven wasn't punishing you, it was maturing you. The gold of your spirit was being purified in silence. You were in what heaven calls the refining fire. It is the stage where the chosen are tested not for destruction, but for distinction. In that sacred fire, your motives were exposed. You learned that love cannot be idolized, that wholeness must come before union. You discovered that peace is not found in possession, but in presence, God's presence. There were days when it felt like your prayers bounced off the ceiling. Days when you said, "Lord, have you forgotten me?" but heaven never forgot. Heaven was recording every tear, counting every sleepless night, and storing every whispered prayer in the vault of divine timing. The delay was never about distance, it was about development. Through the quiet, your discernment sharpened. You learned to see beyond smiles and words. You began to feel energy, sense motives, and hear the tone behind silence. The pain trained your spirit to read truth without being told. You became the kind of soul who could carry divine partnership not for comfort, but for calling. You are not the same person who once begged for love to stay. You no longer chase. You attract peace by existing in alignment. Your spirit learned to stand without depending on anyone else's approval. The old version of you would have settled for affection. The refined version of you demands assignment. That is what the refining years were all about. And through it all, you were not truly alone. Heaven watched. Angels stood guard. The Holy Spirit whispered, even when you couldn't hear. You thought silence meant absence, but it meant activity. Heaven works best in the background. While you were healing, your partner was being prepared. While you were learning patience, they were learning faith. Two separate fires, one divine purpose. Now that you look back, the hidden years no longer feel like loss. They feel like the foundation of something sacred. You realize that if you had met your divine partner before the refining, you might have ruined the blessing by expecting them to fix what God wanted to heal. But now you understand love cannot rescue you from yourself. It must meet you whole, not half. It was in those years of refining that you stopped praying for someone who loves me and started praying for someone who prays with me. You stopped asking for attraction and started asking for alignment. That shift, that deep spiritual maturity is what opened the gates of heaven over your destiny. The Word of God reminds us through the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9. I will bring that group through the fire and make them pure. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. And so it was. Heaven refined you until your voice matched heaven's frequency. Every heartbreak became a hammer shaping your crown. Every silence became a sermon about patience. Every rejection became a redirection toward the divine. You survived the fire, and now you shine because of it. There were seasons when love seemed to find everyone but you. You watched others step into relationships that looked perfect from the outside while yours crumbled in silence. You asked heaven, why does every heart I touch seem to walk away? But the truth, chosen one, is that heaven was testing your love not to see if you could give it, but to see if you could give it without losing yourself. Every counterfeit that entered your life was a lesson dressed as heartbreak. Those moments when your heart shattered were not wasted. They were divine tests, measuring the strength of your heart, not the weakness of it. God allowed false love to touch you just long enough to reveal the difference between infatuation and divine connection. Some people were never meant to stay. They were mirrors reflecting the parts of yourself you still needed to heal. Their betrayal became your teacher. Their rejection became your redirection. They didn't break you, they built you. Each ending was a heavenly filter, removing what could not carry your future. You see now that those heartbreaks had purpose. They taught you boundaries. They forced you to value peace over presence, truth over fantasy, purpose over pleasure. You learned that real love is not about intensity. It's about consistency. It's not about butterflies, it's about roots. Heaven was watching every time you chose forgiveness over revenge, purity over pleasure, faith over fear. Every time you walked away from something that looked good but felt wrong, heaven took note. That is why your reward is not random, it is earned through obedience. Those counterfeit relationships revealed your true capacity for love. You gave when others only took. You stayed loyal when others played games. You prayed for those who wounded you, and that prayer became your protection. Heaven saw every act of grace, every silent tear, every hidden act of kindness. You were being tested in love, but you passed, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. That purity, that sincerity of heart is what separates you from the rest. Your love is not shallow, it is sacred. You don't love for attention, you love with intention. And because of that, heaven is now entrusting you with someone who mirrors your heart. The testing of love was never about punishment. It was preparation. The same fire that burned away the wrong ones made space for the right one. Now you no longer crave validation, you crave connection. You don't chase emotion, you seek revelation. You no longer beg for someone to see your worth, you now guard it. The next time you love, it will be with wisdom, not wounds. The one heaven sends will recognize the gold in you because they were refined too. They will not fear your depth. They will meet it. They will not silence your voice. They will harmonize with it. You will see why every no from the past was protection. You will see how God used heartbreak to strengthen your discernment. You will see that it wasn't rejection, it was redirection toward divine alignment. And now, heaven says you have passed the test. Every broken promise, every lonely night, every unanswered message, all of it shaped your crown. You stand stronger, wiser, softer. You love differently now. And that difference is what will draw your ordained partner to you. You no longer need to chase what belongs to you. What's yours is already seeking you in return. The tests are over. The lesson is complete. Love's next chapter is ready to unfold. Now, as a prophetic declaration that your heart remains pure and open for divine alignment, type these words in the comments: I am ready. This is not just a phrase, it's an act of agreement with heaven. When you write it, you are saying, I choose healed love, not hurried love. I choose God's timing, not my impatience. I choose divine alignment, not emotional chaos. It's your way of telling heaven, I'm done learning through pain, I'm ready to receive through peace. You begin to feel something you cannot name, an invisible thread tugging at your spirit. It's faint at first, like a whisper carried on the wind, but you know it's real. You sense that somewhere, someone is being drawn toward you with the same pull you feel inside. Heaven is aligning two stories, two timelines, two hearts. This is the mystery of divine alignment. You do not chase it. You walk into it. You do not manipulate it. You recognize it. Just as the earth knows when to shift from winter to spring, your spirit knows when destiny begins to move. The invisible becomes visible in its appointed time, for months, perhaps years. You have prayed, Lord, send me someone who understands my soul. What you didn't realize is that heaven was praying that same prayer through you, not for your comfort, but for your calling. The partner heaven is aligning you with is not merely for companionship. They are for assignment. You will not simply love each other, you will activate each other. This alignment is not random. It is written. Before time began, heaven authored a covenant between two lives that would intersect at the appointed hour. Every detour you took, every heartbreak you endured, every delay you faced, all of it was the route leading you toward this intersection. The steps were never wasted. They were divinely ordered. You are being positioned by unseen hands. Sometimes it comes through unexpected change, a move, a new job, a chance encounter, a shift in location. Other times, it begins through inner restlessness, a stirring that tells you something new is near. The Spirit begins to rearrange your atmosphere so that when your paths cross, both of you will be exactly where you are meant to be. This connection will not need explanation. Your soul will know before your mind does. You will feel recognition, not confusion. You will feel peace, not pressure. And that peace will be the signal of divine timing. The alignment of ordained partners is delicate. It cannot be rushed or forced. When you are ahead of God, you create chaos. When you are behind Him, you create delay. But when you walk in step with His timing, heaven synchronizes every detail. Even the smallest coincidences become confirmations. You will see signs, hear familiar phrases, and experience divine echoes that whisper, "It's closer than you think." You may sense their prayers before you meet. You may feel sudden waves of peace or emotion without explanation. That's not imagination, that's spiritual resonance. Heaven is merging frequencies. The one you've been prepared for is being drawn toward you by the same divine magnetism that keeps planets in orbit. The Word of God reveals this mystery in the book of Proverbs. Chapter 16, verse 9. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. This direction isn't always loud. It's often quiet, subtle nudges, divine delays, unexpected turns that protect your alignment. What feels like frustration is sometimes heaven saying, "Not yet." What feels like rejection is often redirection. Heaven guards divine unions with precision because one wrong timing can break a perfect plan. So trust the flow. You don't need to chase and you don't need to fear missing it. Heaven is too strategic to let your promise pass you by. Just keep walking in obedience, Keep refining your spirit. Keep your heart open, but your standards high. The one ordained for you will meet you on the path of purpose, not distraction. When you finally meet, there will be instant recognition, not of appearance, but of spirit. It will feel like home. You will not have to perform, pretend, or persuade. The connection will be effortless because it was written long before either of you prayed for it. This is what heaven means by divine alignment, when preparation meets destiny at the perfect intersection of time. You will both know that the wait was worth it. The invisible threads are moving now. You don't have to see them to believe. You can feel them. Heaven is doing what you cannot. Trust it. Everything meant for you is already on its way. The signs have begun to surface, subtle but unmistakable. Dreams that echo like gentle waves against your consciousness. Repeated numbers appearing on clocks or receipts. Words you've prayed in secret suddenly showing up in songs, in conversations, in quiet moments where you least expect them. Heaven is speaking through patterns, whispering its time. Your ordained partner is no longer hidden. They are being positioned step by step, closer with every act of obedience you take. The winds of timing are shifting in both of your lives, removing the unnecessary, clearing the path for convergence. Nothing about this is coincidence. Divine alignment rarely announces itself with noise. It moves quietly, rearranging your world with sacred precision. You might sense a strange peace lately, not the loud kind that shouts, but the still kind that settles deep in your chest. That's how heaven signals movement. Before the miracle appears in your hands, it rests first in your spirit. Peace is always the first announcement of fulfillment. There will be moments when you doubt again, when fear whispers that you've imagined it, that love this pure could not be meant for you. But remember, the enemy always attacks the heart just before heaven fulfills its promise. The closer you are to manifestation, the louder the resistance becomes. That's how you know breakthrough is near. You have already endured the wilderness. You have walked through heartbreak without becoming bitter. You have chosen faith when you had every reason to give up. Those decisions built the bridge. You now stand on the bridge that leads you straight into divine partnership. This time, love will not come to test you. It will come to rest you. It will not take your strength. It will multiply it. You will not have to chase it. You will recognize it. The same peace that you feel when you pray will be the same peace you feel when you meet them. That's how you'll know it's from God. The Word of God reminds us through the book of James, chapter 1, verse 17. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. Your partnership will be one of those perfect gifts, not flawless, but faithfully aligned. Together, you will move like two rivers merging into one current. The flow will be natural. The effort will be mutual. And your combined light will carry power to heal others who once doubted love's existence. Now pause for a moment and breathe this in. Heaven has not forgotten you. Everything you've sown in prayer, every tear, every act of forgiveness, every lonely night you turned into worship, it is all returning to you in divine form. Love is the reward for those who stayed faithful when faith made no sense. If this message touches something deep inside you, if you feel the truth moving through your spirit like quiet thunder, then help this light reach further. When you like, share, and subscribe, you are not just supporting a voice, you are fanning a flame. Each action is a small breath of air that keeps the fire of this ministry alive, helping it reach the heart still hidden in darkness. And if peace leads you, and your spirit feels that quiet nudge, you may also donate. Think of it as pouring water into a living well. Every drop keeps the well flowing so that others may drink from the same source of hope that once refreshed you. It's not payment, it's participation. Your seed becomes a whisper of kindness that travels farther than you can see, touching those who still wait for the same miracle you now believe in. There is no demand, no pressure, only invitation. Whether your offering is a prayer, a share, or a seed, it all carries the fragrance of gratitude. Together we become a garden of light, many hearts, one purpose blooming wherever this message reaches. Like, share, subscribe, or sow only if led by peace, never by pressure. For every small act of faith is a ripple in eternity. The story of your love is still unfolding. And every choice you make in faith writes another line. The revelation begins to take form now. What was once invisible in the spirit is slowly becoming tangible in your reality. You sense it in the rhythm of your days. Subtle coincidences, gentle confirmations, divine interruptions that feel too perfect to be random. Heaven is no longer whispering, heaven is guiding. You start to realize that what connects you to your ordained partner isn't mere attraction. It's recognition. It's as if your soul remembers something your mind forgot. The connection runs deeper than emotion. It is spiritual memory awakening. You are not meeting a stranger. You are reuniting with someone your destiny already knows. There is peace around this awareness. You no longer feel the urge to chase or prove anything. You are learning that true alignment doesn't need to fight for attention. It simply stands still and attracts what belongs. The energy of peace begins to wrap around your spirit like a mantle. And then, something sacred happens. You stop striving and start trusting. The weight that used to sit on your chest begins to lift. The tears you used to cry from longing now flow from gratitude. You realize that your waiting was not wasted time. It was sacred preparation for something eternal. This realization changes the way you view love. It's no longer about needing someone to complete you. It's about joining hands with someone who complements the divine purpose within you. You begin to see love not as an escape, but as a calling. This is why God took his time, because your love is meant to carry light, not just comfort. According to what is revealed in the first letter of John, chapter 4, verse 12. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us and his love is made complete in us. This verse breathes truth into your season. You are not just waiting for a partner, you are preparing to become a vessel of God's visible love on earth. Through you, others will see what heaven-designed connection looks like. Through you, others will learn that love can be holy, steady, and real. You have spent time healing, forgiving, growing, all so that when your paths finally cross, nothing from the past will sabotage the promise. Heaven is aligning not just hearts but timelines, ensuring that when you meet, both of you are ready to carry this sacred assignment. Your spirit might already be feeling the pull. Sometimes it shows up as peace during prayer. Other times as sudden gratitude for no reason at all. That's how heaven hints that the release is near. It's not a loud announcement, it's a quiet knowing that fills your heart. When this person appears, you won't need to question if they're the one. The presence of God will confirm it in the silence between you. Their voice will carry a frequency your soul already trusts. Their peace will feel familiar. The season of guessing, comparing, and chasing has ended. The one heaven sends will meet you where your purpose and peace intersect. You will not have to lose yourself to be loved. Instead, love will help you find more of who you are. So stand firm in faith. Continue to live in gratitude, not grasping. The promise has already left heaven. It is finding its way to your life. All you must do now is stay aligned, stay in prayer, stay at peace, stay open, And when this message confirms what your spirit has quietly known, that heaven is near and the promise is in motion, declare your agreement in the comments below by writing 212. The number 212 represents divine balance and mirrored movement, a reflection of two lives, the first two being united through one divine purpose, the one, and then multiplied again in partnership, the final two. It symbolizes heaven's message that what was separated will now come together in perfect order. When you type 212, you're saying, "My life is aligned with divine timing." Heaven is joining what belongs together. When you comment 212, you are declaring that you stand in agreement with heaven's plan, two souls, one divine mission, and two destinies now moving in perfect, sacred rhythm. Typing 212 is not routine. It's a prophetic act. It means you trust divine timing, accept divine order, and open your heart fully to heaven's orchestration of perfect, purposeful love. As the promise draws closer, resistance often grows stronger. You begin to notice strange tensions around you, unexpected misunderstandings, sudden fatigue, or a heaviness that seems to appear out of nowhere. It is not coincidence. The closer you move toward fulfillment, the more the unseen realm reacts. Heaven is in motion. But so is opposition. You have to remember, darkness always trembles before divine alignment. When the promise begins to manifest, the enemy does not attack your blessing, he attacks your focus. He cannot stop what heaven has decreed, but he can attempt to distract you long enough to make you doubt it. The battle is not around you, it is within your perception. This is the moment to remain steadfast. The enemy tries to reintroduce old wounds, former lovers, or painful memories that you thought were buried. He knows that if he can awaken your past, he can slow your future. But you must recognize this for what it is, the last wave before calm. When warfare rises without cause, it means heaven is about to open a door. You may feel tension in your emotions or confusion in your spirit. Yet, deep down, you also feel a strange peace that will not leave. That peace is your shield. It is the quiet voice of God saying, "Do not panic, this shaking is evidence that what I promised is near." This is where discernment becomes vital. Not every open door is divine, and not every opportunity is heaven sent. When your light begins to rise, imitation will surround it. Counterfeits will appear, people or circumstances that resemble your promise but lack divine substance. Their purpose is not companionship, it is distraction. You must be still long enough to feel the difference. God's promise carries peace, imitation carries pressure. Heaven's partner honors your boundaries. The counterfeit tests them. Real love pushes you closer to prayer. False love pulls you closer to anxiety. The spirit within you already knows the difference. Listen to that inner witness. It never lies. You will face moments of silence again, but this time the silence will feel different. It will not be emptiness, it will be protection. Heaven sometimes hides what it loves most until the atmosphere is safe. Just as a seed stays buried before it blooms, divine promises often remain unseen until their roots are deep enough to survive exposure. Remember how far you've come. The same God who carried you through loneliness will carry you through this spiritual turbulence. You've already overcome far greater storms. The same fire that refined you has made you resilient. The noise around you cannot drown out the peace within you unless you let it. The ancient words recorded in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13. Remind you, therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything, to stand. This is your moment to stand. You are not waiting anymore, you are guarding. The battlefield has shifted from patience to protection. You must protect your promise with prayer, with silence, with discernment. Not every detail must be shared. Not every feeling explained. Some blessings are too holy for public conversation. Guard it the way you would guard a flame in the wind. Every whisper of doubt, every distraction, every sudden fear, let them pass without reaction. They are tests of focus, not signs of failure. The closer heaven brings your union, the more you will need to walk by faith rather than sight. What seems uncertain is often perfectly ordered in the Spirit. You are stepping into the most delicate part of the journey, the space between prophecy and manifestation. The air is heavy because something sacred is being born. Every contraction of difficulty means the promise is moving closer to visibility. So breathe. Keep your eyes on what is unseen, not what is loud. You have already fought the hardest battles in silence. This last resistance is only proof that breakthrough is on schedule. Do not run. Do not retreat. Stand. Let peace be your compass, faith be your shield, and discernment be your voice. What is written for you cannot be erased. What heaven joined in purpose cannot be separated by noise. And when the dust settles, you will see it clearly. This storm was not meant to stop you. It was meant to strengthen you. There comes a sacred point in every divine journey when silence becomes strategy. You begin to realize that not everything heaven is doing in your life is meant to be shared. There are movements that lose power when spoken too soon, and blessings that demand protection more than announcement. What is holy must be guarded until its appointed unveiling. You are entering that stage now, the season of sacred discretion. The promise is fragile, not because it is weak, but because it is still forming. A seed can be destroyed if exposed before it takes root, and the same is true for your divine partnership. The love heaven is sending carries anointing, therefore it also carries spiritual weight. That is why silence becomes your shield. Not everyone around you will understand this new phase. Some will grow curious, some envious, and others skeptical. Their words may seem harmless, but their energy carries intention. Discernment teaches you that spiritual jealousy often hides behind friendly questions. You don't need to explain divine timing to those who are not called to walk it. Heaven does not need a public announcement to validate a private covenant. During this time, you will feel heaven's nudge to speak less and observe more. You may even feel distanced from certain people or conversations. That is not rejection, it is preservation. God is protecting the purity of your heart and the confidentiality of His process. The more you guard your peace, the clearer His voice becomes. You are learning that silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. A warrior does not reveal strategy to the battlefield before the victory. The anointing on your life demands secrecy until the moment heaven chooses exposure. When you protect what God is building, you show heaven that you can be trusted with more. Sometimes silence will feel uncomfortable. You may want to share your excitement, to show evidence that your prayers are being answered. But restraint is an act of obedience. Heaven watches how you handle what is forming before it becomes visible. The wise hold sacred things close to their hearts until heaven says now. The prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. That waiting is not passive. It is protective. It is the calm before a holy unveiling. Heaven's timing may feel slow, but it is exact. Every day that seems quiet is a day heaven uses to strengthen the foundation of what's being built. Your silence will also expose truth. People who were attached to you for attention will drift away when you stop feeding them with updates. Those who genuinely care will stay, even when they don't know the details. This season separates the curious from the covenant. Guard your spiritual life like a hidden flame. It doesn't need to be seen to burn brightly. It only needs oxygen, the breath of prayer, the air of patience, and the stillness of trust. You are not hiding from the world. You are cultivating the promise in peace. When God finally releases what He has been forming, you will understand why He asked for quiet. The longer the silence, the deeper the roots. The deeper the roots, the stronger the tree. You will not lose what is planted in prayer. It will rise in power, untouched by the winds of gossip or doubt. So remain still. Speak only when led. Do not rush to prove that the promise is real. Allow heaven to reveal it through fruit, not words. The manifestation of your divine partnership will be undeniable. It will need no explanation because its peace will speak for itself. This silence is not the absence of movement, it is the evidence of it. What grows underground does not need applause. It only needs time. And heaven is giving you exactly that. So hold your peace, guard your heart. Protect the sacred space where heaven is at work. You are not waiting in darkness, you are protecting light before it shines. You have reached the edge of fulfillment. The silence that once felt endless begins to shift, and your spirit can sense the nearness of something holy. The atmosphere around you feels charged, not chaotic, but alive. It's as if creation itself is leaning in, waiting to see what heaven is about to reveal. You can feel that what was promised is no longer distant. It's approaching, step by step, heartbeat by heartbeat. When divine timing meets divine readiness, heaven orchestrates encounters that no human effort could manufacture. This is the moment when paths begin to cross, when ordinary routines become sacred intersections. You might not recognize it at first. It may appear as a simple meeting, a casual conversation, a connection that feels natural yet carries eternal weight. This is not coincidence, it is divine choreography. Every conversation that matters, every step you take, is being directed by unseen hands. Heaven has been preparing both of you, two hearts refined separately, now being guided toward a shared purpose. You will not need to force it, you will simply recognize it. The recognition will come not from your mind, but from your peace. You'll notice that the timing feels effortless. The same things that once drained your energy now align easily. You'll feel calm, not confused. That calm is your confirmation. Heaven's orchestration never brings anxiety, it brings assurance. The right person will not just fit into your world, they will expand it. Every moment before this was training for discernment. You had to learn the rhythm of heaven's yes and no, the feeling of alignment versus distraction. Now that you've learned that rhythm, you can finally hear when heaven whispers now. Your divine encounter may come through small beginnings. A message, a new opportunity, a chance meeting, yet it will carry divine fingerprint. It won't require striving, only awareness. That's how heaven works. God hides greatness inside simplicity. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 23, "The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord, and He delights in their way." Your steps are being ordered now. Every detour, every delay, every tear was part of that ordering. The meeting that's coming has been written in heaven's book since before your birth. The same God who positioned Ruth in Boaz's field, who placed Rebekah at the well, who aligned Mary with Joseph, that same God is aligning your steps with the one chosen for you. When you meet them, your soul will remember. The energy will be familiar, like returning home after a long journey. There will be no confusion, no competition, no compromise. Peace will do the speaking. Your spirit will whisper, "This is what I prayed for." And when that happens, remember this: do not rush it, and do not fear it. What is divine will unfold naturally. Just as a sunrise does not struggle to appear, Love designed by heaven does not need to be forced. Let it unfold at its own rhythm, steady, strong, certain. This is the appointed encounter heaven has been preparing. Not an accident, not a random coincidence. This is the manifestation of what you endured all those silent years for. The presence of your promise will be gentle, yet it will carry authority. It will feel like destiny speaking softly through ordinary moments. That is how heaven moves quietly but undeniably. And when you feel it, when the alignment becomes clear and your spirit knows that this is it, stand still in gratitude. Heaven's plan does not need proof, it needs praise. Now, if your spirit recognizes this word, if you feel the quiet certainty that your steps are being aligned toward your divine encounter, declare it below by writing, "I receive this." Those 3 words are not just a comment, they are a seal of agreement. When you type them, you are saying, "I acknowledge divine alignment. I trust the timing. I walk by peace, not pressure." Heaven moves through agreement, and this simple declaration is your way of saying yes to what's already unfolding. When you write, "I receive this," you are declaring spiritual readiness, acknowledging that your heart, mind, and spirit are open to heaven's alignment, trusting that divine timing is unfolding without resistance. Typing "I receive this" is a prophetic affirmation. It means you accept the blessing not with fear, but with faith, agreeing that what God has spoken is already finding its way to you. When heaven unites 2 souls under divine alignment, it does not just form a relationship, it forms a mission. You begin to see that love was never meant to be a personal possession, but a sacred partnership designed to build something greater than both of you. Your connection is not just romance, it is revelation. It is the proof that when God writes a story, every chapter serves a purpose. This union does not only bring comfort, it brings calling. Together, you will not simply walk hand in hand, but heart and purpose. You will learn that divine love is not about ownership, it is about stewardship. 2 souls carrying the same light, reflecting heaven's intention on earth. You and your ordained partner will notice how easily your strengths intertwine. Where one sees vision, the other builds it. Where one prays, the other believes. There will be no competition, only completion. The energy between you will not drain, it will multiply. The world will not just see affection, it will see anointed partnership. That is why heaven took so long to align you. What you carry together will have influence beyond the 2 of you. It will reach family lines, communities, even generations yet unborn. Heaven doesn't rush what it intends to last. The foundation of your love was not built on emotion, but endurance. The Word of God reminds us through the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 12. Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. That 3rd strand, the presence of God, is what gives your partnership its strength. Without it, love is fragile. With it, love becomes eternal. The covenant you share will not just be about companionship, but about contribution. You will pour into others, you will intercede for those who wait as you once did, and you will build spaces where faith feels like home. The presence of this kind of love will make you gentler, not weaker. It will sharpen your compassion, deepen your patience, and teach you how to speak life into those who have forgotten their worth. Heaven sends love not only to fill hearts, but to heal humanity through the ones who understand divine union. And when that realization sinks in that you are living proof of heaven's promise, gratitude will rise in you like a tide. You'll feel the urge to share this hope with others, to let them know that divine timing is real, that waiting was worth it. So, if this message speaks to the place in your heart where faith and gratitude meet, Let that feeling move through you. When you like, share, and subscribe, you are not just supporting words, you are opening another window for light to reach someone still standing in the dark. Each gesture becomes a ripple of faith, a silent way of saying, keep the flame alive for others too. And if, in that quiet place of peace, you ever feel led not by pressure but by purpose, you may also donate. Think of it as planting a seed in the soil that once nourished you. Every seed sustains the message, allowing it to reach further, to lift another heart that feels forgotten. Donating is not about giving something away. It's about joining a cycle of restoration. Like rain returning to the ocean, your giving circles back as grace. It is never demanded, only invited, a chance to echo gratitude in a tangible way. Maybe you can't give much. Maybe your offering is a prayer, a kind word, or a share. That too is seed. Heaven measures faith not by size, but by sincerity. Every small act keeps this stream flowing, a current of encouragement, a river of hope. If you choose to give, do it from love, not obligation. Let it be your way of saying, I have received freely, and now I freely give. That is how heaven multiplies blessings through willing hearts, never forced hands. So, whether you give through presence, prayer, or provision, know that you are part of this divine river. Together, we keep the current moving, carrying words of light to souls who need to be reminded that God still fulfills promises. Like, share, subscribe, or sow, not because you must, but because your heart feels the pull of purpose. You are not just a listener, you are a light keeper, helping heaven's message reach every waiting heart. When you and your ordained partner begin to walk as one, the world around you subtly shifts. It is not dramatic or loud. It is quiet power, the kind that changes the atmosphere without asking permission. You sense it first in prayer. The way your words blend together feels different. Heaven listens closer when unity speaks. You begin to realize that this is what God intended all along: two voices, one spirit, breathing the same rhythm of faith. Every divine union carries a mission. Some are called to build, others to heal, others to speak light into forgotten corners. Whatever your shared purpose is, it will not be small. Heaven never pairs two souls without intention. You were never meant to just exist beside each other. You were meant to multiply impact. Your love becomes a ministry even without words, a living testimony that endurance births glory. The storms you faced separately now make sense together. Every trial carved wisdom into your bones, teaching you how to lead with compassion, not pride. Where one of you once felt weak, the other carries strength. Where one hesitated, the other now believes. It's a divine exchange, a balance that reflects heaven's own pattern: mercy and truth, faith and works, peace and power. You will notice that when God ordains a partnership, everything begins to align in quiet sequence. The small things, timing, decisions, even delays start to serve a larger design. Nothing feels random anymore. The very things that once caused frustration now reveal purpose. Every interruption, every pause was positioning. Heaven doesn't waste movement, it redeems every step. There will still be days when friction appears, but this time you will understand the difference between conflict and correction. Divine love refines without destroying. It teaches both humility and honor. You will learn to fight for each other, not against each other, and through every misunderstanding, grace will rise like oil on the waves, softening what could have hardened. Your shared prayer life will become the center of your strength. When one of you intercedes, the other feels the echo. When one grows weary, the other's faith stands as shelter. That's how heaven designed covenant, not as chains, but as covering. You will begin to realize that prayer is the oxygen of divine love, keeping it alive when words fall short. It was written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 19. Again, I tell you that if two of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. That promise becomes your foundation. Agreement is not just emotional harmony, it is spiritual authority. When your hearts align in faith, heaven moves. You will pray small prayers that birth great changes because agreement multiplies power. Together, you become a gate through which miracles enter ordinary life. But this kind of union demands purity of intent. You must guard against pride, against the temptation to believe you have arrived. Divine love is not a trophy, it is a trust. The closer heaven draws two souls together, the greater the responsibility to walk in humility. You will be asked to serve, to forgive quickly, to choose love even when silence feels easier. There will be nights when one weeps while the other holds, mornings when laughter replaces what pain once owned, seasons when faith will be tested not by storms, but by silence. Yet through it all, the presence of God will remain steady, like a river beneath your feet. You will come to understand that love is not a destination, but a daily covenant. It is renewed through grace, strengthened through prayer, and proven through endurance. What heaven joined is not fragile, it is fortified by purpose. And as you walk this path, you will realize something beautiful, that the greatest miracle was never the meeting itself, but the becoming. Two hearts, once broken and scattered, now shaped into one rhythm, steady, surrendered, unstoppable. Every sunrise beside your ordained partner will remind you this is not luck, it is legacy. You are living proof that divine timing never fails, that love written by heaven endures beyond circumstance, sustained not by emotion but by eternal purpose. The season has shifted once again. What once felt like promise now feels like fulfillment. And yet heaven is still working. You can sense a deep quiet inside your spirit, not silence, but stability. It's the stillness that comes after a long storm, when the air feels washed and clear. You've reached a point where you no longer question whether the promise is real. You know it is, because you are living inside it. But this moment is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of purpose. Heaven does not give without intention. The love you've been trusted with carries divine assignment. Your connection was never meant to stop with two. It was designed to overflow. The light that once kept you alive in darkness is now meant to guide others out of their own. You and your partner are becoming evidence of redemption. Every scar you once hid now shines as proof that healing is possible. The words you speak, the peace you carry, even your laughter, they are sermons without sound. God is using your union to remind others that time doesn't destroy destiny, it refines it. You've begun to see it, haven't you? How even your past pain now has purpose. How every heartbreak trained your empathy. How every waiting season shaped your patience. Heaven wastes nothing. The delays that once broke you now build you. Every unreturned prayer was never ignored, it was rerouted towards something greater than what you asked for. Your partnership will continue to grow. But now you are called to pour outward, to intercede for others still in waiting, to speak hope into dry places, to lift up those whose faith is trembling. You are not merely a receiver of grace, you are a carrier of it. The Word of God declares in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." This verse is more than poetic, it is prophetic. Heaven is commanding you to stand, to shine, to no longer hide the radiance born from your trials. The love you now live in is not meant to be secret, it's meant to be seed. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every prayer spoken for another waiting soul, all of it multiplies light in a dark world. There will be moments when this responsibility feels heavy. You may wonder why God trusts you so deeply. But remember, He chose you not because you were flawless, but because you were faithful. Your pain trained you to carry empathy. Your endurance taught you to protect peace. Heaven does not call the perfect, heaven calls the prepared. Your story will ripple beyond what you can see. People will look at your journey and find courage to wait again. They will believe that divine timing is not just a concept, but a living promise. Your faith will awaken faith in others. That is the legacy of the chosen. You are stepping into a radiant phase 1 where gratitude becomes your language and purpose becomes your path. Heaven has completed the circle from waiting to fulfillment to witness. You are no longer just receiving love, you are reflecting it. And if as you read this, your heart beats faster and your eyes well up, it's because your spirit recognizes truth. You have walked through fire, but now you carry flame. The light you hold will guide many. Now, as a prophetic declaration of this moment of rising, write 444 in the comments below. The number 444 is a symbol of divine establishment and angelic alignment. It means heaven's order is being perfected in your life foundation, faith, and fulfillment working together as one. When you write it, you're saying, I stand in divine order. I rise in purpose. I carry heaven's light. When you comment 444, you declare that your life is anchored in divine stability. Heaven's blueprint unfolding perfectly through faith, purpose, and light working together in sacred, unstoppable harmony. Typing 444 is an act of agreement with destiny. It means you're not just standing in blessing, you're walking in order, heaven's foundation firm beneath every step you take. Even in divine union, the journey does not become effortless. What changes is your perspective. You begin to understand that challenges are not interruptions. They are invitations. Every new difficulty you face as a pair becomes another opportunity to practice the strength you prayed for. The battles that once frightened you now forge deeper trust. This is the sacred truth about divine love. It is not built in comfort but in covenant. The beauty of what heaven has given you will be tested, not to destroy it, but to prove it. Every strong foundation must face wind and rain before it is trusted to hold others. So when trials come, do not panic, remember what was promised. You were never given love that breaks under pressure. There will be moments of misunderstanding, seasons when communication falters or fears try to creep in. You will encounter situations that expose hidden insecurities, both yours and your partner's. But instead of running from them, you will learn to see them as mirrors. Divine love reveals what still needs healing. It doesn't condemn, it refines. You'll notice that each time you choose patience over pride, forgiveness over frustration, and grace over judgment, something inside your relationship grows stronger. Heaven blesses those who respond with wisdom instead of reaction. The fire that once frightened you will now purify you both. The lessons that used to take years will come quickly because your spirits are now trained by endurance. The world often teaches that love should always feel easy. But heaven teaches that love should always lead to growth. Growth is not always comfortable, but it is always holy. Every conversation that humbles you, every trial that draws you to prayer, every moment that teaches empathy, these are the quiet signs that your union is alive and maturing. There will also be seasons when external forces test your unity. People may misunderstand your connection, or circumstances may arise that challenge your peace. The enemy does not attack where there is nothing to lose. He attacks where there is divine purpose. But remember, you were not joined by chance, you were sealed by assignment. What God authors. No opposition can erase. When tension comes, return to the altar, not necessarily a physical one, but the spiritual space where you first said yes to God's plan. Sit there together, pray together. Let the silence between you become sacred again. The same peace that joined you will restore you. The Word of God declares in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 37, notes on. In all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. That truth will become your strength. You are not surviving. You are overcoming. Every challenge is not a setback, but a stepping stone. The love you carry is meant to outlast pressure because it was born from prayer, not convenience. Heaven has already equipped you with everything you need to endure patience, discernment, and unshakable peace. As your union matures, you will begin to realize that true strength is not shown in victories, but in endurance. It is not how loudly you love, but how quietly you remain faithful. The world may look for grand gestures, but heaven looks for steady hearts that keep choosing each other, choosing purpose, choosing peace. There will come days when the two of you will stand together and look back at what you've overcome. You will remember the nights of uncertainty, the storms that tried to shake you, and you will smile, because through it all, love stood tall. It bent but did not break. It wept but did not surrender. And as you walk forward, hand in hand, you will understand that endurance is worship. Every time you choose to stay rooted in peace instead of panic, heaven calls it victory. Every time you love through difficulty, heaven calls it obedience. You are not just living love, you are proving it. So even when the winds rise again, you will stand without fear. For you have learned the secret: divine love does not promise an easy road, it promises an eternal one. The beauty of divine love is not only seen in joy, but also in the quiet power of perseverance. Over time, the rhythm between you and your ordained partner deepens. You begin to understand each other's silences, sense unspoken emotions, and communicate through presence more than words. This is where love matures, not in constant excitement, but in steady understanding. The days may grow ordinary, but holiness hides inside the ordinary. You learn that sacredness doesn't always come wrapped in miracles. Sometimes, it comes disguised as morning coffee, shared laughter, or a calm evening when peace sits gently between you. You start to see that heaven's fingerprints are everywhere in small gestures, patient conversations, and even in the quiet moments when nothing extraordinary seems to happen. Divine love is not a constant rush of passion, but a river of purpose. It flows through seasons, sometimes gentle, sometimes strong, yet always moving forward. The two of you learn to adapt to these currents with grace. You realize that the strength of your bond is not measured by how you feel in every moment, but by how you choose each other in every moment. Love that comes from heaven will always call you higher. It will challenge your habits, stretch your patience, and teach you humility in ways you did not expect. You'll learn to apologize without pride, to listen without interruption, and to forgive without delay. You'll discover that maturity in love is not about avoiding storms, but learning to dance in the rain without losing rhythm. The world will try to define love by comfort, but heaven defines it by character. Your relationship will continue to reveal who you are becoming, not just as partners, but as people of faith. When you face challenges, they won't pull you apart. They'll push you closer to prayer. When you experience success, it won't inflate you. It will remind you that gratitude is the only right response to favor. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 62, verse 5. My soul, wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from Him. That verse will become a quiet melody in your hearts. Even when love feels strong, you will know that your expectation is never from one another, but from God alone. You will learn that divine partnership is not about leaning on each other for fulfillment, but about standing side by side, both leaning on heaven. This realization will bring freedom. You will no longer carry the weight of needing to fix each other's brokenness. Instead, you will hold space for healing, trusting that God continues to work through your connection. The love you share becomes less about possession and more about permission, allowing each other to grow, evolve, and pursue purpose without fear of losing one another. There will be times when one of you leads while the other follows, moments when your strengths trade places. That is the dance of covenant. Sometimes one lifts, sometimes one leans, but always both move in rhythm with grace. You are learning to love without control, to nurture without demanding, to support without suffocating. You will see how God uses your differences not to divide, but to refine. Where one is fire, the other is water. Where one is motion, the other is stillness. Together, you create balance. Together, you reflect the fullness of divine design, two distinct expressions. One unified light. Over time, the testimony of your relationship will not be written in grand gestures, but in quiet faithfulness. The way you stay when it's easier to walk away. The way you choose kindness when frustration tempts you. These are your living prayers. They are proof that heaven's love does not fade, it fortifies. And so, day by day, love becomes less about feeling and more about faith. Less about needing and more about knowing. You will wake each morning not wondering if love will last, but thanking God that it already has, because divine love, once birthed, never dies. It simply deepens, like roots anchoring a tree through every season. In that depth, you will find the truest peace, not in perfection, but in presence. You will see that love, when kept in God's hands, is not fragile glass, but sacred stone, weathered, enduring, and eternally strong. As the years of divine partnership unfold, your love begins to resemble something ancient and eternal, not a fleeting spark, but a steady flame that refuses to fade. You realize that heaven never designed love to be perfect. Heaven designed it to be holy. Every moment you've walked through together, the tears, the laughter, the long nights, the gentle mornings, has woven itself into a story written not in ink, but in eternity. The more you grow, the more you understand that divine love is not about how loudly you shine, but how faithfully you endure. You and your partner have become living evidence that faith still holds the power to rewrite what fear once destroyed. Together, you are proof that love, when anchored in purpose, can outlast any season. The light you carry together doesn't just illuminate your own path, it stretches outward, reaching those still walking through shadow. That is the quiet power of divine union. It multiplies light. Without striving, your presence together speaks. People begin to see through your story that love is not found through rushing, but through refining. You will notice, too, that the more you give, the more heaven gives back. The blessings you once prayed for no longer feel like possessions, they feel like responsibilities. You begin to share what you've learned, not to boast, but to bless. Your words, your patience, your example become the seeds heaven uses to awaken faith in others. As Jesus declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verse 38, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over, shall men give into your bosom. You start to realize that giving is not loss, it's language. Every act of generosity, whether through time, kindness, or prayer, is a word heaven understands perfectly. Giving is how love breathes. When you release what you have in your hands, you make space for what God wants to place next. So when this message moves something in you, that gentle stirring, that quiet recognition, let it live. Don't silence it. You don't need to do anything out of duty, do it out of delight. When you like, share, and subscribe, think of it not as following, but as tending a flame. Each small act is like adding oil to a lamp so the light can keep reaching others still wandering through their waiting. And if ever in that peaceful silence of your heart, you feel led to donate, let it be the most natural thing, like rain returning to the sky or a river feeding the sea. Giving is not about payment, it's about participation. You're not funding a message, you're watering a garden. Every seed you plant keeps this spiritual field alive, growing, blooming in unseen places. No one is keeping score, it is between you and heaven. The gift of your generosity, whether in time, prayer, or provision, becomes a fragrance that rises beyond sight. When you give, you aren't losing something. You're leaving a fingerprint of light on someone else's future. Even the smallest act, a comment, a share, a prayer whispered for another listener, carries power. Maybe your words will find a stranger who's ready to give up. Maybe your encouragement will reach someone who hasn't prayed in years. When you write in the comments, think of it as leaving a candle at the altar, small, but shining. Each word you write is light in digital form, a spark that travels farther than you imagine. When you comment, let your words be a ripple of kindness, a heartbeat echoing across digital space, reminding another soul that heaven still speaks. Do it only if it feels true to you. That is how all divine acts begin, not in pressure, but in peace. Every gesture of faith, every share, every seed becomes part of a sacred current that carries this message to where it's needed most. So, like, if it feels right, share if your spirit stirs. Subscribe if you want to walk deeper into this flow of faith. And if your heart feels the gentle whisper to sow, do it as an act of worship, not because you must, but because you can. For light grows wherever hearts choose to tend it. And maybe, just maybe, your small spark will be the flame that leads another chosen one home. As the light of your love continues to shine, heaven begins to widen your vision. What once felt personal now feels prophetic. You start to see that this journey was never only about you and your ordained partner. It was also about the many who would one day walk this same road and need a guiding voice. Heaven begins to call you from receivers to restorers, from waiting ones to witnesses. It happens quietly, perhaps through a conversation, a prayer request, or someone who confides that they've lost hope in ever finding what you now have. In those moments, you recognize the sacred purpose behind your story. You understand that your waiting, your tears, your endurance were never wasted. They became the language of empathy that others can finally understand. When heaven trusts someone with revelation, it always entrusts them with responsibility. You are now carriers of wisdom that cannot stay silent. The peace that once healed you is now meant to heal others. The same faith that carried you through loneliness will now carry multitudes. You have been refined not only for joy, but for leadership that comes through compassion, not control. This calling doesn't require a stage or a spotlight. It requires only sincerity. Your story itself is your ministry. Your scars are the sermon, your restoration the altar, your endurance the testimony. Heaven will send people across your path who don't need lectures, they need presence. They need someone who has walked through the fire and can say, you will make it too. Your ordained partnership will become a lighthouse, steady, consistent, and warm. You won't have to force anyone to see it. Light does not advertise, it simply shines. Those drawn to it will come because their souls recognize truth. And when they do, you will know that heaven is multiplying your obedience. According to the book of Galatians chapter 6, verse 9, let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. That verse becomes your reminder when mentoring others feels slow or unseen. The fruit of your guidance may take time, but it will appear. Heaven honors every quiet effort, every whispered prayer, every moment of patience that no one sees. Just as your harvest came after hidden years, theirs will too. This next chapter will require renewed humility. You cannot help others if you believe you are above them. True spiritual mentorship is not about superiority, it is about service. It is sitting in the ashes with those who are still waiting and reminding them that ashes are not endings, they are beginnings. You will speak softly, listen deeply, and love fiercely. Through you, others will remember that God is never late, only precise. At times, you may feel the weight of this responsibility. You may question if you're ready to pour into others while still learning yourself. But that's the beauty of divine purpose. You lead while still being led. Heaven does not wait for perfection to use someone. Heaven uses availability. You are both student and teacher, still walking while guiding others. The ones heaven sends you will not all look the same. Some will be broken, some bitter, some quietly hopeful. You will see a reflection of your old self in their eyes. You will remember the nights when you prayed for the same reassurance they now seek. In comforting them, you will realize how far you've come, not through arrival, but through transformation. And when you speak to them, your words will not come from intellect, but from encounter. You will speak from memory, from the sacred places where pain met peace. That's why heaven chose you, because you understand, because you lived it. This is your next anointing, to intercede, to teach, to hold space for those still finding their faith. Not to rescue them, but to remind them that they are already chosen, already seen, already loved. Your partnership, your journey, your waiting, all of it was training for this moment. You are now not only witnesses to a promise fulfilled, but stewards of promises yet to come. And when you look back on everything that led here, the tears, the silence, the faith that never gave up, you'll understand you were never just waiting for love. You were being prepared to become a vessel of it. There comes a moment, quiet yet magnificent, when heaven completes the circle. You look back on everything, the waiting, the tears, the refining, the revelation, and you finally see how all of it was necessary. Every delay had direction, every heartbreak had purpose, every silence had sound, though you could not hear it then. What once felt like loss now glows with meaning. You stand now in the center of what was once only promise. The love that heaven ordained for you has not only arrived, it has matured, taken root, and become part of your identity. You no longer carry the hunger of searching. You carry the peace of finding. There is no longer striving, only stillness. This is what divine fulfillment feels like, not fireworks, but peace that hums like light inside your bones. The journey has transformed you. You are not the same person who once cried out for answers. You have learned to recognize God in both the breaking and the blessing. You have learned that faith is not proven by what you receive, but by what you continue to believe when nothing seems certain. Through every valley, heaven was never far, it was walking beside you, teaching you to hear in silence and see in darkness. Now, As you stand in the aftermath of answered prayer, you understand that fulfillment is not the end. It is the beginning of a new devotion. Gratitude replaces longing. Praise replaces pleading. The love you once waited for becomes a living altar, a space where heaven and earth meet daily through kindness, patience, and peace. There is beauty in realizing that what you prayed for was never just about a relationship. It was about restoration. God used love not simply to bless you, but to rebuild what pain once destroyed: trust, hope, and courage. Your heart, once weary, now beats in harmony with divine rhythm. What once felt fragmented now feels whole. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations of those who love him and keep his commandments. That promise now feels personal. You have seen his faithfulness with your own eyes. The same God who held your heart in waiting now holds your union in purpose. What he began in secret, he has now completed in light. You walk with gratitude, not just for what you have, but for who you have become through the journey. Every scar has turned to story. Every test has become testimony. The waiting season was never punishment. It was preparation for the kind of love that could carry eternity's weight. And now, you live not only in promise fulfilled, but in purpose sustained. Your days will still hold ordinary struggles. But the difference now is that peace has become your atmosphere. You no longer fear change. You flow with it. You no longer chase signs, you carry them. The same heaven that orchestrated your connection continues to breathe over your life, ensuring that every step you take leads deeper into wholeness. As time unfolds, you will pass this wisdom on. The lessons you learned in silence will become the counsel that comforts others. Your story will echo through generations, proving that faith still moves mountains and that love, when born of God, never fails. When you hold the hand of your partner and feel the calm that surrounds you, you will know this is not coincidence, this is covenant. You will look into their eyes and see the reflection of every prayer you ever prayed, answered not in words, but in presence. The journey has not been easy, but it has been divine. Every turn, every pause, every whispered prayer has led you to this, the place where destiny stands fulfilled and peace reigns without fear. You have not only found love, you have found the rhythm of heaven itself. And in that realization, your heart will whisper the only words that matter now, God. You kept your promise. So now, chosen one, you have reached the end of this divine unfolding. What began as longing has turned into legacy, and the words that once felt like prophecy have become your lived reality. You have seen with your own eyes that heaven never forgets, and you have learned that the waiting heart, though weary, is the most powerful instrument of creation. But this message, this river of light, does not end here. Its purpose continues through those who carry it forward. If this journey has touched you, let it breathe beyond you. When you like, share, and subscribe, you are not merely interacting, you are participating in something sacred. You are placing one more stone on the bridge for another soul who is still trying to cross their night. And if your heart feels the quiet whisper to comment, let your words be more than reaction. Write as if you're leaving a note at the edge of eternity, something simple, something true, something that tells another listener, you're not alone. The promise is still alive. Each comment becomes a flicker of hope, lighting the path for someone who needs it most. If ever peace leads you to donate, let it be an offering of gratitude, not obligation. Think of it as pouring water back into the river that once refreshed you. Your giving keeps the current alive. It allows these words to reach further, flowing toward hearts still learning how to believe again. Do everything only as your spirit leads, not as pressure demands. The beauty of divine acts is that they are born from willingness, not weight. For every like, every share, every whispered prayer, every seed sown, you help keep this flame alive. Together, we are not just telling stories, we are building altars of light across the world.